Good evening, everybody. Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com. I am in Orlando, Florida, actually at the headquarters of where Hurricane Pro and HD is produced. And I thought for the users of Hurricane Pro and HD that I would give you an update on Irma in person. I stopped at the developer's house here to pick up some gas. It was part of the preparedness plan ahead of time. I called and I said, can you please have 10 gallons on reserve just in case? And today is just in case. So let's take a look at the latest on Irma here. All right, so click on this. 5-day forecast track. What a legacy and a saga this has been. You know, we thought maybe it was going to come up into the Carolinas first, maybe into Georgia. We being pretty much everybody following this, and the National Hurricane Center included. And now we see that it came through after obviously the devastation of the Caribbean, making landfall here in Collier County after crossing the Keys early this morning. And now it looks like the track is going to stay inland into the southeast United States, Georgia into Alabama, and then ending up all the way into portions of Indiana. And what does that mean? Well, you can see a large area under hurricane warning still. People have really, I think, been surprised at the large wind field from this system. And if we take a look at the satellite picture, I think this is it here. That's the advisory. Where are we? We did have the satellite. No, it's radar. That's fine. So the radar, I mean, look at the expanse of area covered here. Very, very heavy rainfall coming in off the Atlantic Ocean still. So you have onshore flow coming in this way. The eye down here over southwest Florida moving out of Naples, Collier County into Lee County. And those spiral bands have very heavy rain. I should know, I drove through most of that coming out of the Miami area all the way up the turnpike here into Orlando. Some of those rain bands are going to have very gusty winds, so you're going to have to just stay put. This is a huge area of very heavy rain, and some of these have tornadic thunderstorms possibly embedded within those rain bands, and you need to take that into consideration. If we look up the coast a bit, we can just click on this and we scoot up towards the Tallahassee area. All that rain starting to move in the Panhandle, the Big Bend area, and the whole circulation center will be moving north and bringing the entire Florida peninsula with at least tropical storm conditions, if not hurricane conditions. Now, the storm surge is still a big threat, though that it made landfall directly on the coast there in Collier County. Maybe the onshore flow surge part will be confined perhaps to Everglades City and farther down into the Everglades proper, maybe mainland Monroe County. We'll just have to wait. Nevertheless, the surge forecast still 10 to 15 feet of potential above ground flooding, and all sorts of areas, from anywhere from we're still talking about the Keys here, the Card Sound Bridge through Cape Sable, including the Florida Keys with that onshore flow still going on as the circulation passed through, 5 to 10 feet. And then even Miami Beach, we've been hearing about that, 3 to 5 feet of surge. Several reporters from the networks talking about the storm surge in downtown Miami, obviously mixed in with the very heavy rainfall that took place. So this public advisory is a great tool for you to use. If you haven't read this before, I talk about this a lot in the updates that I do. You need to read the public advisories, and you can go to the National Weather Service homepage, and you can put your zip code in and read the hurricane local statement. That hurricane local statement, I really try to pound this, is very helpful because it breaks down what you need to know for your area specifically, not necessarily your driveway or your front yard, but it's going to have information. You want to know what's happening in Cedar Key, you want to know what's going on in Jacksonville, Florida. If you're a relative or a friend of somebody that lives in one of those areas and you are concerned, weather.gov, put in the zip code of the area that you're interested in and read the hurricane local statement. All right, so Irma making landfall now in Florida. Hopefully it stays over land, meaning that will help it to decay and go away and we'll be rid of it. There are other things to keep track of in the tropics. Today is actually the peak of the season, climatologically speaking. So we're just at the top of the roller coaster ride. We still have to go down maybe the scariest parts. We don't know for sure, but that's what we're here for, is to keep you informed, both through what I do with HurricaneTrack.com and, of course, the information and the awesome tracking and the tools that you have within Hurricane Pro and HD. Like I said, I'm at the house, the office where that's developed, and it's kind of a privilege to be here. All of you that have used it over the years. I am Mark Sudduth in Orlando, Florida. I will have continuing coverage of Irma over the next several days.